What's going on, guys? I've had quite a few DMs over the last, 4, 5, 6 months asking what I've been doing, where are my car photos, what I've been up to, how I'm traveling the world, doing all this cool stuff. And so today's going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm going to go over, why I haven't been posting too many car photos over the last year or two, what I've been up to, how I've been traveling the world. I've been getting a lot of DMs of people asking, hey, where are all the car photos? You used to put car photos up every day. Like, what's happening? And I just want to address some of that, what the plan is for this year, and what the next step is for me on this automotive photography journey of mine I've been on for the last little while. So I'm going to go up to a really dope spot with a cool lookout. I'm going to shoot my car. I'm going to go over a couple things. I just bought a new camera, so I want to get as much practice into that as I can. And then I'm going to go into kind of what I've been up to the last little while and what this year is going to look like once we get up there. So I will see you up there. But first, I'm going to go for a rip in the nice twisty roads to get up there. All right, we made it up here. I'm looking at a hell of a view right now. All right, I really hope this video is in focus because I don't want to do this twice. So I kind of want to go over what the last few years has looked like. So in 2018, 2019-ish, I guess, I really wanted to become the best automotive photographer I could possibly be. And from that point on, I made a decision that that's what I was going to do. And I did it. I spent 2 years grinding every day, taking photos of every car that I found. I got really good. I practiced every day. It's all I did in my spare time. Eventually, August Luxury Motor Cars reached out and offered me a job. Actually, I think it would have been August, funny enough, 2020. I got offered that job and worked there for 4 years. And, I built up a hell of a network. I got a great client base. I met some amazing people, obviously spent a lot of time around a lot of nice cars, and fortunate enough to be able to drive every car I've ever wanted to drive pretty much. I got to a certain point where I would see these people come in every day buying my dream cars. And I just thought to myself, like, I'm never gonna be able to afford my dream car working here as an employee. Like, I wanna be a customer, not an employee. At the time, one of my good buddies, Jeremy, he runs an online coaching business, does very well for himself, was looking for a media guy. And he bought a Lamborghini Urus. We shot a couple videos of that and he really liked them. So he actually offered me a full-time position doing his media for him. And I'm just gonna make sure this is fucking recording. I don't know if I actually pressed record or not. Oh yeah, we're good. So after he offered me that position, I was faced with a really tough decision at the time. Stay with this job that I worked so hard for. It's my dream job. I get to drive all these cars, get to meet these amazing people, do all this fun stuff, get paid to do it. It's a consistent paycheck. Or take a chance on my friend and go work with him. And it was completely different. So he's an online business coach, and that meant switching from automotive photography to doing talking head stuff, vlog stuff, a bunch of reels every day, and spending a lot of time around that group of people, like online coaches and online entrepreneurs. He offered this to me about a month before the trip. He's like, hey, we're going to this $40 million villa on the Golden Mile in Marbella, Spain. And I'd never been out of Canada, and I was like, shit, that sounds sick. He told me that about a month before the trip. So I had about 2 weeks to make a decision, because I'm not just gonna bail. I didn't want to just leave them a day's notice, a week's notice, whatever. I wanted to give them a full 2 weeks to be able to find someone to replace me. So I remember there was a couple days I would like walk halfway to the GM's office, and then I'd be like, I'll get scared, and I'd leave, go back to my desk. It got to the point where it was like literally 2 weeks from the time we were supposed to leave for the trip. I had to make a decision. So I walked in there, told him, hey, like, I got this opportunity. I'm gonna start working with this other guy. I appreciate everything you guys have done for me, yada, yada, yada. And I quit. And that was a really sobering moment, because I was like, what did I just do? Like, I may have just shot myself in the foot. Like, I just gave up all of the network opportunities from the dealership, driving supercars every day, to go into this unknown world of online coaching and doing media for that. And anyway, my last day was on a Friday, and I remember on Sunday, I hopped on a flight to Marbella, Spain, which I didn't know was really far away from here. And I showed up a day late because I fucked up my flight. So, whole nother side story. Anyway, I worked with Jeremy for a little over a year, and man, we did some amazing things. I got to see a lot of cool places Like I said, we went to Spain, been to Miami twice now, went to Scottsdale, Arizona, Colorado. I'm sure there's some other places in there. I went to California, I always wanted to go there, that was fun. Texas, and you know, I actually met some people on those retreats that have now hired me to do their client retreats. So I still get to travel. In 3 weeks, I'm going to Utah to shoot one. And in June, I'm going to North Carolina for another client retreat that I'm gonna be shooting. We did all that fun stuff. And then it got to the point where Jeremy restructured his entire business and let the whole team go, which now it's going great for him. I'm super happy for him. And it's so good to see him just like at ease. Because for the last little while of that, he was pretty stressed. There was a lot of shit going on behind the scenes, and you know, we got through it, and yeah, now he's doing great, but I was kind of left without any income. I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? So I actually ran into a buddy, big YouTuber in town here, and he started working on a fitness offer, and he offered me a position as his media guy. So I said yes, it was great. And then it turns out I ended up being a project manager for that entire project, which is not what I signed up for. And it absolutely drained me. Like, I was exhausted, working like 15 hours a day. From the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, it'd be like 5:30, 6 a.m. to midnight every day. I'd have to be available for putting fires out or this and that. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This isn't what I want to do, you know? And I really got to a point where I was so burnt out that I was like, I'm done working for other people. I can't do this. You know, I'd always been in mind that I wanted to travel the world and shoot cars. That's all I wanted to do. Exploring cool cars, shit like this, amazing views, fun cars, and obviously you have to fund that somehow. And I always have people in my DMs asking how I do XYZ when it comes to car photography. And then working with these online coaches, I obviously learned how to build a coaching program. And you know, I think a lot of these coaches get a really bad rap because there are so many shitty ones out there. But man, the coaches I spent time with are incredible coaches. Like, they truly, truly change people's lives. Just to be able to see that firsthand, like, you see shit online, you don't really have the real story, but seeing these guys actually change people's lives is incredible. And you know, it got to a point where I was like, why don't I do this? Like, I can put together a program. I've been doing this for 7 years now, and I know how to build a business. I know how to get clients. I know how to network. I know how to shoot the technical side. I know how to edit. I know how to set up back-end systems now. That's kind of what this year is gonna be about, on top of obviously doing all the shoots that I'm doing. So I'm working on another project with a few people right now, building their YouTube channel with them. They're building some incredible cars. I'm sure you guys will see more about that as these videos go on. But the whole point of this is to just say, I'm a little rusty when it comes to car photography. And this summer I'm going all in on it. Obviously, this video I'm filming right now is gonna be video 1. I guess you could call it the rebrand. Moving forward, it's all about cars, creating some incredible cinematics, and just getting cool photos and meeting more cool people, and you know, hopefully get to travel the world eventually. And I really want to go to Italy. I want to go to Switzerland. You know, I want to go to Australia and just shoot cars in different environments and be able to travel the world and do what I love to do. So in order to do that, you need money. In order to make money, you got to help people. In order to help people, you got to start somewhere. And it's time to get back in front of the camera because I've been behind it for too long. And you know, this past winter was really eye-opening. I didn't really do a whole lot. I was just sitting inside. It's obviously, you can tell it's very gray here in the winter, and you know, it feels like this winter has gone on forever, and it's like it's April 1st today. Anyway, all that to say, it's time to get back at it. And yeah, so that's a little bit of what I've been up to. You know, when I was working at August, I kind of got comfortable. I stopped learning. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I know what to do. But I stopped learning new techniques, and you know, I started to feel like I was falling behind of my potential. And this year I'm really, really stepping back into learning, you know, new ways to shoot, new creative ideas, new perspectives, new colors, you know, new lighting. And yeah, that's what a lot of this year is going to be about. And I figured I may as well document it because I'm doing it anyway. So it's probably something that somebody out there wants to see. Even if one of you guys wants to see this, I mean, if you're watching this, it probably means you want to see that too. So enough yapping. That's why I came up here, because I'm going to shoot some stuff. So let's get into that, because that's the fun stuff. All right, now, actually, shit, hold up. Hold your fucking horses, bud. Yellow, there we go. All right, now it's time to shoot some photos. So first things first, I'm gonna do some photos, and then I'm gonna do some video, because I actually really wanna get a lot better at video this year. And over the weekend, I actually sold my baby. I bought a motorbike last year, a beautiful Yamaha FZ07. and it was the best purchase I ever made. And that thing made me so happy, man. I had so much fun, so much freedom riding a motorbike. But unfortunately, like I said, it was a slow winter and it didn't make a whole lot of money. But I knew I needed a new camera because my other one, I had a Sony a7R III I used for years, probably 5-6 years. I started to shit the bed and I needed a new camera. And I was like, hey, do I really want to go all in on this, or do I just want to talk about going all in on this? So I had to make a sacrifice. I had to sell the bike, and that was a tough decision. But on Saturday, sold the bike, bought a new camera. Got an a7R V, which is gangster. I love it already. I've only used it a couple times, but it also has 10-bit color. So does this, so does my drone. So now my footage can be very consistent, and it's time for me to start stepping shit up. Like I said, it's gonna be a year of learning, and I gotta learn how to color grade videos because I'm not that great at it. And especially with the gear that I have, there's no excuse for me to be getting mediocre quality videos when it comes to color grading. So this year, color grading is high on the priority list. Now, that being said, I also need to get back in touch with being better at editing my photos. I gotta get back into the swing of that, and my perspectives has changed. Obviously, my ideas of color grading and, you know, lighting and all that fun stuff, it has changed over the years. So, oh Jesus, this camera, I can't figure out how to lock onto my face. So that's gonna be something I have to figure out. Yeah, I wanna get my car colors back, and then I also really wanna get good at color grading. So that's what we're here to do today. I'm here to practice. And while I'm practicing, I may as well film a YouTube video for you guys. Photos first. And if I'm being honest, my car, while I love it, it's mechanically needs a little bit of work, so I don't want to move it around a whole bunch. So basically, I'm just going to shoot it where it's at and just get some static photos. There aren't going to be too much variety of it because I'm not moving it, but I'll show you a few angles, and then I'm also going to do just some static video stuff with the car sitting here, not moving, and then really just work on my color grading. And I couldn't think of a better spot to do it than this. It's a hell of a view, man. And also, if you guys like these kind of videos, let me know. I don't ever know what to film. I'm always doing cool shit, but what do you guys want to know? What do you want to hear? What do you want to learn? I also have a chest mount GoPro, which I forgot at home, so nice. So I'll film on this Osmo as best I can. Anyway, we'll go up here. I think I've talked about this before in other videos, but the front quarter angle, Jesus, this angle is my go-to. Anytime I get to a shoot, this is what I start with. I'll show you right here. It's just a great way to show off the lines of the car, and it's a little more aggressive. I'm gonna set you guys down, and I'll just shoot these photos, and you'll see them on the screen, so you know what I'm talking about. So we can do fully zoomed in, right in the middle, which is a great shot. And then you can also zoom out and do the rule of thirds. So we'll have the car in the right third of the screen and then show the background in the left 2/3. And then you can also flip it. I usually shoot vertical for Instagram, but I'm starting to shoot more horizontal again because everything just looks better when it's horizontal. Yeah, those are sick. Yeah, what I'm gonna do, because I actually really like this view over here of the clouds kind of like rolling through the hills. So I'm gonna shoot video of the car parked where it's parked right now, that front quarter angle, this background. And then I'm gonna park the car along this line and shoot kind of that way. Even though the amazing background's that way, we're gonna test some ideas. So I did some photos of this angle, now I'm gonna do some video, and then we're gonna change it up and get a couple different angles. So anyway, now I gotta try and balance my camera on my gimbal on a hill, which is never easy. Also threw my back out sim racing the other day, so I'm a little sore today. And I went go-karting last night, which we've been doing every week. It's fucking sick. So one thing I didn't sell was my helmet, because we go go-karting every week, and I really got into F1 over the winter. It's so sick. And I've always, like, the end goal for me with automotive photography was always to become a professional race car driver, because I just love racing. I love going fast. I love like chipping away every lap and picking off 1/10 of a second here and there. And we just got a go-kart track that opened up in Kelowna, and it's actually pretty fun. The go-karts, they're electric, but like, I don't even care. They're so fun. There's so much torque in those things. And the guys I go out with are really fast. So I'm learning and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, a few things I'm gonna do here. Set it to video mode. I'm not really gonna go into like the details of how I'm shooting this. If you guys wanna learn that, let me know, I'll make a video on it. I'm just gonna show you what I'm shooting on the camera instead of going into the specific settings and all this fun stuff. But yeah, if you wanna learn more about that, let me know, I'll just make a video on it. Gives me something to make a video on because I never know what to shoot. Anyway, give me a second, I'm gonna try and balance this thing. Actually, I'll show you because it's not a fun process on a hill. So what we can actually do this way. And it is crazy, double fisting cameras here. Well, I'm just gonna do some like slow-mo forward shots. And then I actually wanna test out my mist filters because I have a couple of mist filters. And I think up here on a day like today would look really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys watch these wild little camera movements we do to get the shot. I don't even know if you'll be able to see this, but it is what it is. Nice thing about this camera too is I have a fully articulating screen, which makes my life way easier. Also, I'm gonna go behind. I really like stuff in the foreground too, and obviously you see all these plants and shit. So it just adds a lot more range and dynamic fucking whatever to the shot. Ugh. You guys are in the bushes. Stuck it in the mud. All right. Now this autofocus is so good, I have to manually focus it on the car or it'll focus on the bushes. Big reason I wanted this camera was 4K 60 and 10-bit color. So I can slow this stuff right down. My A7R III only had 4K 24 and 4K 30, I believe. So this makes a big difference with cinematic stuff. It always looks better when it's slowed down. Fuck. I gotta get used to using this camera again. Okay, what I'm gonna do now, actually, I'm gonna get my mist filters out. We'll throw them on there. This is obviously just a super quick shoot. Normally when I take clients out, we're shooting for 3 to 5 hours. But today I just wanted to get out and film a video because I told myself I was gonna do it yesterday and I didn't do it. And it was a beautiful day yesterday. A spider on me. So yeah, it is what it is. We're getting it done. So I got 1/4 and 1/8 mist filter. Oh shit. An 1/8 is a little bit less intense, a 1/4 is more intense. So I'm gonna go with the 1/4 and see how it looks. I got an ND filter on the camera right now too. So I'm gonna have to take that off and play around with the settings to make the lighting match, but we'll be fine. What mist filter does essentially, if you guys don't know, it just adds, it adds like a haze on the highlights and it softens the light a lot. So it makes it look like it's misty out, even though it's not. Growing up on the East Coast, we had a lot of fog and like mist in the air, which made it really nice for cinematic shots. But now I live in Kelowna and it's a desert here, so we never get any of that, which is why I do like going to Vancouver to shoot too, because they still get a lot of moisture in the air out there and it makes for some really cool shots. So we'll be definitely doing a trip out there. We got like 8 cars lined up. Now we just got to plan it and get out there. And I'm basically just going to do the same shot I just did, but with the mist filter, and you guys will see the difference on screen. I actually don't know what it's going to look like because I got my log profile on, so everything just looks gray right now. Yeah. Yeah, my back is cooked. Getting old, guys. I do have a mist filter at home that's an ND, or sorry, a mist filter and a polarizer in one, so I gotta find that. I don't know what I did with it. It's somewhere. Okay. Oh. Just gonna straighten the car out, kind of like that shot I said earlier. Get it lined up parallel with the grass and the road, and then shoot into the distance with these clouds rolling through the hills. You know, I complain that it's cloudy here, but in the summer, like, you won't see a cloud here for 6 months. So even though it is kind of gray and bland, it is nice to take advantage of it when I can. Excuse the squeaky steering wheel. I tightened it the other day a little too tight. I gotta fix that. Yeah, so super simple. Just instead of here, let me just show you this way, it's easier. Instead of it being in the middle of the road at an angle, we're just gonna have it straight like that. I actually think we can get some cool shots. And also, I have to use my 24-70 because my 16-35 shit the bed, and it only focuses on 16 millimeter. I can't go in anything past 16, it won't autofocus, which is kind of annoying. I don't know why this autofocus ain't working. All right, we'll see if I can get it. I don't even know, I don't think you guys can see me anymore, but I can see you. Yeah, it's way too tight at 24. Okay, actually gonna get some photos here too. Okay, now my autofocus is acting up. Oh, it's because I'm on manual focus. That would do it. So that last video is fucked. I'll show you a little bit here. So these little bushes on the side, I'm gonna use as a foreground. This one here is the biggest, so I'm gonna shoot through that. When you do that, especially when you have a, a location like this where you have a lot of room in the distance, having something in the foreground to separate it so you have a foreground, middle ground, and background does make a huge difference when it comes to composition. God, this camera's so fucking sick. It's unreal. Okay, now that the autofocus is fixed, or my brain fixed, I guess, because autofocus was never broken, we'll shoot some more video with the mist filter. Well, it's getting lighter out. I think the sun's trying to come through. I don't know, I think that's it. I'm gonna go home and edit this. Anyway, if you guys are still watching somehow, thanks for listening. Definitely let me know what you want to see more of, because like I said, oh, that's probably, audio's probably fucked, eh? So I'm going all in again this year. It's time to step it up, time to get back to what I love doing and getting good at it again. So yeah, if you like this, let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I guess subscribing helps, I don't know. That's cool if you want to do that. If not, thanks for watching this far and not subscribing for some reason. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.